The BJP and the DMK are at daggers drawn over an assault at the university in Tamil Nadu, and that's our top focus story. Very disturbing story coming in from the National Capital Region in Gurgaon, adjoining Delhi. Popular radio jockey, 25-year-old RJ Simran, has been found dead in her Gurugram residence. This is in Sector 47 in Gurugram, adjoining Delhi. Police claim prima facie that the popular radio jockey is reported to have died by suicide. The house was locked from inside. Of course, according to preliminary information, there is no suicide note. That's the information we've been able to gather so far. At least no suicide note has been recovered. The body now has been handed over to her next of kin, to her family, after investigations have been completed. Now, RJ Simran was a very popular radio jockey. We still do not know why she allegedly died by suicide. I want to cut across to India Today's Shreya Chatterjee, who joins us with the latest on police investigations. Shreya, on what basis are the Gurugram police claiming that RJ Simran reportedly died by suicide?
Well, Gaurav, this is actually as per the preliminary investigation done by Gurgaon police after the dead body of RJ Simran was found in her apartment in Sector 57 of Gurugram. Reportedly, she's allegedly died by suicide. The initial investigation so far has been conducted by the police. An on-record statement is yet to be issued by the Gurugram police. But what we are being told that the dead body of Simran has actually been handed over to the family. And right now, the police is also looking into her last communications to understand that whether this was to do with any kind of inclination that was actually pushed. So that is an investigation that is being done by Gurugram police right now. But so far, sources are suggesting that she allegedly died by suicide.
Any word from friends, from family on her mental condition, what she was going through, what was happening in her life? Any details available so far in public domain?
Well, as of now, the family members have also not made a statement, but this is something that the police is looking into. Her recent social media posts are being looked into, and her last communication is being looked into to understand that whether there was any kind of push that resulted into this incident, or this was a condition that was also lying for a long time. That is being investigated by the Gurugram police. But as of now, the information that we have been given by the Gurugram police sources is that she allegedly died by suicide.
Keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. For the moment, Shreya Chatterjee, many thanks. And now shifting focus to our top story. Politics has escalated over the incident of a sexual assault at a Chennai university. Now BJP's Tamil Nadu President K. Annamalai, he's promised to go on a fast for the next 48 days. He will whip himself 6 times on day 1 as a mark of protest against the Stalin government, the DMK government in Tamil Nadu. The state BJP chief declared he will also walk barefoot till the DMK is ousted from power in Tamil Nadu. The AIA-DMK has backed the BJP, accusing the ruling DMK of suppressing the truth in this horrific assault case at the Anna University. The DMK, of course, has rejected all charges. Massive protests are being reported from the Anna University in Chennai. According to initial information that's come in, a 37-year-old man has been taken into custody in connection with the assault. The accused apparently sells biryani on the footpath just outside the Anna University campus. I quickly want to cut across and bring in Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan, senior BJP leader and former governor of Telangana, who joins us on this special broadcast. Dr. Soundararajan, on what basis is the BJP alleging that the accused is linked to the DMK? Because the DMK says just a picture found with Udayanidhi Stalin does not mean that he's part of the DMK, madam.
The arrest of the agitators, because they took us to custody and just now half an hour back I am released. One thing. Why we are linking him with the DMK is he is not only the picture, not only the linkage of pictures, he has been, there are evidence he has been working in the student wing of DMK. And there is no only one picture with Udayanidhi, picture with the health minister, picture with the other functionaries, picture with the deputy chief minister. And he has been, then why, if there is no DMK government's backing, in spite of 15 cases, and he has committed such heinous mistakes even before, why he was roaming here and there without any problem? And the securities of Anna universities are telling he always come inside and he go roam in the Anna University and go. Who backed him? Unless he has the support of the ruling DMK, these was could not have happened. So this courage to do all these heinous mistakes is given by the political support from DMK. We strongly believe, and there are clear evidence, as our state president has said.
Now, how do you intend taking this case forward? Because the DMK says law is taking its own course. The accused has been arrested, and now it's for courts to decide on punishment on the basis of evidence. So is it your point, or is it your case that the state will not produce evidence against the accused?
So first of all, I'm asking one thing, why they are not allowing the opposition parties to do agitations? They didn't even allow us to assemble it. Even a single person when reached the venue, they took us to custody. Today, 25 policemen surrounded me. They pushed me so that I should get into the van. I should not talk. I should not agitate. I'm asking, if you are not, if you are not if you are fearless, and if you are not bothered about the culprit, why you are crushing the voice of the opponents? Both ADMK leaders and BJP leaders who did the agitations were arrested, and till now we were in the custody. What's the problem with you? If you are fearless, let the opponents talk, because it is freedom of expression. It is right in the democracy. Each and every party, every woman has the right to express her views. As a women leader, I was taken into custody, pushed by the police. What is happening in Tamil Nadu? Why you behave like that? So definitely compromised campus safety was there. Political patronage of criminals. It is not the first incident. Large number of incidents. One girl was harassed inside the school in a camp, and NSS camp, and a girl was harassed inside an office. So continuously the criminals are roaming with courage because of the support of the political support of the DMK, that we strongly put this point in front of the people, that is compromise law and order, and they are just to brush away. This is a single incident. Why are you politicizing? This is not a single incident. Each and every woman is the higher education minister is telling this is an isolated incident. Why are you politicizing? In fact,
that was the question. Right? That was the question I was coming to. But the information that that is being that's being alleged, that there are multiple such instances of the accused who should have been, according to opposition leaders, should have been categorized as a history sheeter and kept on a watch list, but he was not kept on a watch list. Now, what is the BJP's strategy? What is the opposition strategy to ensure that the victim gets justice in this case, and what changes do you seek, madam?
No, immediately we want justice for the girl. The girl is now telling even her friend was affected, and it was a routine procedure by this fellow. They take the video of the students and they threaten them, blackmail them. So these type of activities should be stopped in the states, Chennai, or in the other states, other areas, other districts also. Second, the whatever may be the criminal activities, whether it is the killing of the political leader, whether it is atrocities against women, nobody gets arrested immediately, because this fellow got arrested because we were raising our voice from yesterday. Particularly BJP and ADMK was raising our voice, and because of that, and another suspicion is that he is handled very softly. They are telling he broke his leg and he is lying in the hospital. So the DMK government is handling him very softly, because he is known to the deputy chief minister and the ministers. So the DMK government has the priority as politics than the people. That is, they want only politics. They want only votes. They are not bothered about the safety of the women and drug menace. Drug menace is very bad in Tamil Nadu. So because of that also indirectly the sexual harassment, the incidences are more. So they should curtail the drug menace. They should be, they should curtail with the iron hands. They are soft towards the criminals. The criminals are courageous enough because of the political backing by the DMK. They are roaming, and in most of the cases, the criminals were not arrested properly. They were not treated. People are not treated properly. So we want the DMK government should be more aware and more strenuous and more deal with the iron hand, the criminals, than making them roam here and there.
Tamil Sai Soundararajan, former governor of Telangana and BJP leader, for joining me here on India Today. Many thanks. Now, the Congress and the NDA are on war mode. Let me quickly take you across to Karnataka, where the Congress has intensified its protests in Belgavi, demanding that the Union Home Minister Amit Shah put in his papers. They want Amit Shah to resign on that Ambedkar statement controversy. Amidst this, a fresh controversy has erupted now in Karnataka. In Belgavi, Congress posters apparently and allegedly displayed a distorted map of India that did not show Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh as an integral part of India. Instead, it showed Kashmir as a part of Pakistan. After a massive backlash, the posters were removed. The BJP slammed the Congress, accusing it of displaying not just a minority appeasement mentality, but playing the George Soros game in India. The BJP claimed the incident actually exposes Congress's anti-India agenda. The Congress has hit back. The Congress has denied all these allegations. They've said that the posters are fake and that these posters are not Congress party posters, but a part of the BJP's fake propaganda factory. They accuse the BJP of spreading false information about the Congress to deflect attention from the Ambedkar issue.
There is no controversy. Some of the leaders, by not knowing, might have made some mistake. We have already directed them. We are removing everything, and whatever is been done, don't try to just pick a small stone in the curd, milk. Everything is perfect. We have done according to the Indian traditions and the values and the custom of those days from Gandhiji to BJP is there to attack us. They can't digest. There is no medicine for jealousy. Let them do what they want. We will do whatever we want.
ये वो भारत देश है क्या इसी के लिए जिसके लिए राणा प्रताप ने घास की रोटी खाई थी, इसके लिए शिवाजी ने जान की बाजी लगाई थी, जिसके कारण रण में कूदी रानी लक्ष्मीबाई थी, जिसके कारण भगत सिंह ने फांसी गले लगाई थी, जिसके कारण गुरुपुत्रों ने अपनी जान लुटाई थी, और जिस भारत मां के टुकड़े करते तुमको लाज न आई थी, उस भारत मां की यह छवि तुमने आज दिखाई है। अब इससे एक बात बहुत साफ हो गया है कि भारत को छिन्न भिन्न करने का स्वप्न देखने वाले शक्तियां, भारत को तोड़ने का ख्वाब देखने वाली ताकतों के साथ कांग्रेस के गठजोड़ की तस्वीर अब एकदम साफ हो गई है।
So 2 days after superstar Allu Arjun was grilled by the Telangana police for close to 4 hours, Chief Minister Revanth Reddy met several filmmakers in Tollywood. He met actors, filmmakers, producers, directors at the Hyderabad police headquarters. And sources are telling India Today that the government now wants to involve film actors in the campaign against drugs. They've proposed support for campaigns promoting better education for the construction of integrated schools. At the same time, Revanth Reddy insisted there will be zero tolerance for bad behavior, including bad behavior of fans.
As the superstar showdown between Allu Arjun and the Telangana government simmers, Chief Minister Revanth Reddy met top Tollywood actors on Thursday. The meeting that took place at the Hyderabad police headquarters came as the CM battles allegations of a political witch hunt against film stars. Among those who met Revanth Reddy were Allu Arjun's father, filmmaker Allu Arvind, and actors Nagarjun and Venkatesh. Sources tell India Today that Telangana Chief Minister was firm with the actors, saying that there will be no compromise of law and order, and declaring that the celebrities are responsible for controlling their fans. Revanth Reddy assured the actors and filmmakers that his government stands with the industry. The Chief Minister also expressed grief over the Sandhya Theatre stampede death, saying that his government took the incident seriously.
बेनिफिट शो में जनता बहुत थे. अल्लू अर्जुन ने वहां पर गए, वहां पर पूरा मारम धक्का हो गए, वुमेन डेथ हो गई, उनके बेटा आज भी हॉस्पिटल में. वहां पर पुलिस ने ये रैपिड के बारे में क्रिमिनल केस बुक किए. इस देश में आम आदमी से लेकर प्रधानमंत्री तक Constitution is one and the same.
The opposition, though, continues to hit out at Revanth Reddy.
जिस तरह के बयान आते हैं कांग्रेस के नेताओं के, वो अपने आप में कांग्रेस की सरकार के ऊपर सोच के ऊपर बड़ा प्रश्न चिन्ह खड़ा करते हैं. कांग्रेस का एमएलए का कुछ कहना और धमकी देना, ये अपने आप में क्या कंट्रोल नहीं है इनके ऊपर?
कांग्रेस को टारगेट करना, रेवंत रेड्डी को टारगेट करने का काम कर रहे हैं. ये बंद करो भैया. फिल्म इंडस्ट्री को डरा रहे, उनसे पैसे लेने का काम कर रहे हैं. ये तुम्हारा काम है. ब्लैकमेलिंग करना आरएसएस बीजेपी का काम है.
Telugu superstar Allu Arjun and the makers of Pushpa 2 have announced a compensation of 2 crore rupees to Revati's family, who died in the stampede that broke out at Sandhya Theatre as Arjun arrived for the film's premiere on December 4th. While 1 crore rupees has been given by Allu Arjun, Maitri Movies and director Sukumar have given 50 lakh rupees each. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let me now get you the latest from our fact check section. There's a viral video that's going online that claims a Muslim man is damaging seat covers of scooters and motorcycles and puncturing tires to boost his business. Now, India Today did a fact check, and the latest information that we can get you, and the most accurate information, this man is an instructor at a coaching center. 1, he's not Muslim. 2, he does not repair punctures. He does not have a tire repair business. This is just a fake news that's being spread online.